Hi, I am Anna, your instructor for this session. In this session, we are going to see some sample questions to test your understanding on Scrum framework. This session is useful to all who are preparing for the Professional Scrum Master Certification exam. So, let us start. Question number 1. The Scrum Master observes the product owner struggling with ordering the product backlog. What is the appropriate action for the Scrum Master to take? Choose the best answer. Option A. Present the product owner with an ordered product backlog to use. Option B. Suggest that the developers order the product backlog to be sure that it is feasible ordering of work. Option C. Offer the product owner help in understanding that the goal of ordering the product backlog is to maximize the value. Option D. Encourage the product owner to work with the developers to see which item technically are faster to implement. Option E. Suggest the product owner extend the sprint, so he can have more time to order the product backlog. Let me know what option you have chosen. You can see the right answer on the screen. It is option C. Let us see why the answer is option C. The product owner is accountable for maximizing the value of the product resulting from the work of the Scrum team. The product owner is also accountable for effective product backlog management. He is accountable for developing and explicitly communicating the product goal, creating, and clearly communicating product backlog items. The product owner orders product backlog items and ensures that the product backlog is transparent, visible, and understood. Question number 2. A product owner wants advice from the Scrum Master about estimating the work in Scrum. What guidance should the Scrum Master give? Choose the best answer. Option A. Scrum forbids estimating. Option B. Estimates are made by the people doing the work. Option C. Product backlog items must be estimated in the story points. Option D. Estimates are made by the product owner, but are best checked with the developers. Option E. Estimates must be in relative units. Let me know what option you have chosen. You can see the right answer on the screen. It is option B. Let us see why the answer is option B. Agile estimation is the process of evaluating the required effort to complete a work item. Agile teams use estimation to forecast their velocity and productivity. Estimates are made by the people doing the work. Question number 3. Several sprints into a project, the product owner tells the Scrum Master that a key stakeholder just started using the product. The stakeholder is unhappy with the quality of the product. What are 2 good options for the Scrum Master? Choose the best 2 answers. Option A. Explain the product owner that it is up to the developers to decide on the acceptable quality standards. Option B. Wait to bring this up until the sprint retrospective. Option C. Bring the concern to the testers to improve how the product is verified. Option D. Coach the product owner on how to talk with the developers about this concern. Option E. Encourage the product owner to put quality specifications on the product backlog and express the stakeholders' concern to the developers. Let me know what option you have chosen. You can see the right answers on the screen. It is option D and option E. Let us see why the answers are option D and option E. There is no methodology for a Scrum Master to follow, yet there are intervention choices and behavioral stances from which to choose depending on context. The Scrum Master is a coach and facilitator. He would coach the product owner on how to talk with the developers about this concern and facilitate the discussion. The other way to fix these issues is to put quality specifications on the product backlog and express the stakeholders' concern to the developers. There is no need to wait till sprint retrospective for this to be brought to the Scrum team. Question number 4. During the sprint retrospective, a Scrum team has identified several high-priority process improvements. Which of the following statements is most accurate? Choose the best answer. Option A. The Scrum team may add the items to the sprint backlog for the next sprint. Option B. The Scrum team should decline to add a process improvement to the sprint backlog when things are running smoothly. Option C. The Scrum Master selects the most important process improvement and places it in the product backlog. Option D. The Scrum Master should choose at least one high-priority process improvement to place in the product backlog. Let me know what option you have chosen. You can see the right answer on the screen. It is option A. Let us see why the answer is option A. The Scrum team identifies the most helpful changes to improve its effectiveness. The most impactful improvements are addressed as soon as possible. They may even be added to the sprint backlog for the next sprint. Question number 5. What is the accountability of the product owner during Sprint 0? Choose the best answer. Option A. There is no such thing as Sprint 0. Option B. Make sure enough product backlog items are refined to fill the first 3 sprints. Option C. Create the overall release plan to ensure organizational goals are met. Option D. Gathering, electing and analyzing the requirements to build the product backlog. Option E. Determine the composition of the Scrum team to meet the release plan. Let me know what option you have chosen. You can see the right answer on the screen. It is option A. Let us see why the answer is option A. There is no Sprint 0 as per the Scrum Guide. Also, there is no special sprint for planning, design or release. As per the Scrum Guide, every sprint should create at least one valuable, useful increment and build at least one piece of valuable functionality. The entire Scrum team is accountable for creating a valuable, useful increment every sprint. Question number 6. Commitment is essential to achieve the benefits of Scrum. What actions demonstrates the commitment of Scrum team members? Choose the best 2 answers. Option A. Help your fellow Scrum team members. Option B. Work late. Option C. Always deliver the items in sprint forecast. Option D. Do your best work. Let me know what options you have chosen. You can see the right answers on the screen. It is option A and option D. Let us see why the answers are option A and option D. Successful use of Scrum depends on people becoming more proficient in living 5 values, which are commitment, focus, openness, respect, and courage. The Scrum team commits to achieving its goals and to supporting each other and does their best work. Question number 7. As the sprint planning progresses, the developers realize that the workload may be greater than their capacity to complete the work. Which are two valid actions? Choose the best two answers. Option A. The developers ensure that the Scrum team is aware, start the sprint, and monitor the progress. Option B. Cancel the sprint. Option C. The developers work overtime during this sprint. Option D. Remove or change the selected product backlog items. Option E. Recruit additional developers before the work can begin. Let me know what options you have chosen. You can see the right answers on the screen. It is option A and option D. Let us see why the answers are option A and option D. The developers works closely with the Scrum team. They ensure that the Scrum team is aware of the progress. The purpose of the daily Scrum is to inspect progress toward the sprint goal and adapt the sprint backlog as necessary, adjusting the upcoming planned work. Cancelling the sprint, doing overtime or adding resources are not the things to do for developers. Question number 8. Which approach is best for the Scrum teams in order to produce valuable increments? Choose the best answer. Option A. Each Scrum member works only as an independent layer of the system. Option B. Each developer works on the component where they feel that they can contribute. Option C. Each Scrum team is accountable for developing functionality from beginning to end. Option D. Each Scrum team works on an independent set of components. Let me know what options you have chosen. You can see the right answer on the screen. It is option C. Let us see why the answer is option C. As per the Scrum Guide, the entire Scrum team is accountable for creating a valuable, useful increment every sprint.